Today we are in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Frankenmuth is a little Bavarian town. It's kind of Christmassy in and of itself, but they go all out for Christmas with their decorations and their lights. So we decided to come out here. It's a nice, steamy, humid 30 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. And we're gonna jump in here and start having some fun. Well, it sure got dark quick. It seems like it was like 5 minutes ago. It was broad daylight out. Doesn't look too crowded here today, which is a little strange because it's less than a week. Or no, it's a little bit more than a week until Christmas. Well, it looks like this bridge is only open for like 2 months out of the year. This seems really out of place here because that's a platform 9 3/4. What in the world is there like a little Harry Potter reference doing here? I'm not exactly sure what this is, but to me, it's awful hypnotic. Yeah, whenever we come to Frankenmuth, we like to walk through the River Place shops first because it's just a fun, cool-looking little town. I love seeing giant Christmas trees. It's just one of my favorite things to see during Christmas. This tree's no exception. Check that out. I don't think I've ever seen one decorated in giant snowflakes before. Lindsay says we can't do anything else tonight until she goes into the popcorn wagon. She's kind of a sucker for popcorn. I also saw some candy in there, so I'm really in trouble.
Where are we at? Popcorn. No. Again, what is this place called? The Popcorn Store? Here we are in the popcorn wagon, and they are very festive in here. This pretty snowman and tree. It's a really, really tall tree. Way taller than me. Makes me feel short. And they're very decorated. Just so much popcorn in here. I don't know, like 20 different flavors. That is pretty cool. I wonder how many pieces it is. Looks like a lot. They're pretty tiny. Look at this guy. He's so cute. He's ready to give out all his popcorn for Christmas. There are so many flavors. We're having like a really hard time deciding. What do you got?
English toffee with sea salt. Might buy that.
Is it a block or pieces?
Don't eat it.
Okay.
Don't eat it.
This is such a cute little shop. They have puzzles up here, which that one's actually gummy bears. That looks like fun.
One.
Can I have one? Little trinkets and things. And then they have
I don't know. We'll see.
some other bags, and then they got popcorn balls. All these different flavored popcorn balls. That looks like they're pretty popular because some of them are empty.
Well, was it everything you'd hoped for?
This is really good.
What kind did you get?
It's cherry.
Cherry popcorn?
Yep.
Who picked it out?
Your littlest picked it out.
Oh, is it good? Do you like it? This is for sure a fun little town, but you know what I think it's missing? Little snowmen statues. Their little thing does seem to be these little presents they have everywhere. I don't think I'm gonna go through and count them though. Well, we're done with the river shops. Now it's time for us to move into the actual town of Frankenmuth. It is really starting to get cold out. It was 30 when we got here. It's gotta be in the 20s now, because it feels like it's dropped several degrees. I have a feeling we're just gonna be ducking into each and every building we come to because it is cold, cold, cold. We're gonna pop into the Bavarian Inn here because they got some fun shops below. That's more like it. Much, much warmer in here. And it's kind of neat looking, sort of a woodsy, Christmassy feel. There's some deer up there. Yeah, it looks like this deer's got like a little chipmunk friend. This one's little spotlight's not on him. I wonder if he's being punished. He does have his head down like he's ashamed of himself. Doesn't it look like that little girl's got like a handful of that little boy's shirt threatening him? I wonder what he did. Or maybe she's just trying to keep him quiet about something. Like you didn't see nothing, did you? Now it's time for us to move further into the underbelly of the Bavarian Inn. They got a bunch of shops and stuff down here. So I found this little miniature fairy garden area down here, and I was thinking it would be even cooler if they, put little Christmas trees and stuff in it for the season. And then I kind of looked over here, and we've got a Christmas tree, with one little decoration in it. This little gnome. And I guess his name's Nestor? I don't quite get it. Check out the Hello Kitty tree we found. I don't know if it's supposed to be a Hello Kitty tree. I'm calling it a Hello Kitty tree because I see several Hello Kitty ornaments on it. I'm wondering what this little snowman got into because his eyes are looking a little wacky. It's pretty crowded down here. I think everybody had the same idea of coming down there to get out of the cold. It's really nice looking in here. They got some Christmas trees over here. I like these ones because they've got the pine cones on them. And then it's frosted like it's snow. So actually I'm surprised it's not snowing outside right now. As you can see, this street's lined with Christmas lights. Let's see if I can get closer and get a better look at some of them. And we found another giant Christmas tree. Actually, this one is a real pine tree. As you can see here, it's got the big old light bulbs on it. Man, this sucker is huge. Man, that thing's like 30 feet tall. These little Christmas trees look like they belong on the Small World ride at Disney. Or at least that's what they remind me of. You could always take a horse-drawn carriage. No horse-drawn carriage is particularly festive looking to me. I wonder how much it costs to do. I didn't see a sign. I saw where they were lining up. Maybe I'll walk by it and kind of give a price. One of the things I really like about the way Frankenmuth does their decorations is not only do they put stuff up on their lampposts, but they've also got Christmas lights wrapped around every tree that lines the street. That's an old looking sleigh. Look at that. Yeah, full of presents and pine boughs. It's not a tree. Those are just little pine branches. I've always wanted to go into the Frankenmuth Historical Museum. I'm just really curious as to what they've got in there. It's closed right now. Those are its normal business hours. I'll have to come back on a day when it's open. Was it? After 6? Today's Sunday. I didn't think it was quite 6 o'clock yet. And just like any other really good town, Frankenmuth has plenty of candy and fudge shops. Although they're not doing any saltwater taffy at the moment. Frank's Muth. You know what's weird about this? This used to be the Cheese Haus. And it looks like the Cheese Haus has just been moved a couple doors down. Then we're gonna have to go look at that now. Yeah, they even moved the mouse and the cheese. I wonder when they did this. Let's go and check it out. Well, here's what the new Cheese Haus looks like. It smells like cheese. Like strongly of cheese. I don't remember the other one smelling like cheese. It is nice in here. Have you ever seen two happier snowmen with a jar of maple syrup in the back of their sled? Those are the cutest little toothpick holders. Look at that.
I think we should get this for our wine. It's cold.
What is it? Here, move your hand. Known for the holidays. Oh, a wine bottle cover? How much is it?
It's $11.99.
For that price, our wine can just freeze.
Oh.
300 pounds mammoth cheddar. That is a lot of cheese. I don't think it's for sale, though. Or maybe it is. Look. Cheese containers. Well, if you don't want to take the big 300-pound one, you can get a pound of it. Well, that's the Cheese Haus, the new Cheese Haus. They look really nice in there. It's actually good they moved it. The old one was looking kind of dated. That's different. It's a pine bough skirt. Lindsay says it's cold AF, and she wants to go. Where does she want to go, though? Does she want to go home? Or does she want to go into the Harvest Coffee House? Well, we're not going into the coffee house, she said. She says it's too late for her to get coffee.
And the guy inside.
An hour ago, it wasn't too late.
It was
Now it's too late. No, it was an hour.
It was 2.
1 hour.
2.
Those horses look cold. I have this strange fascination with fountains. This one's not on, but it still caught my eye. I wanted to come over here and take a look at it. I like it. Man, I wonder if they could have done the lights in a way in which it looked like running water. I bet they could have. It is really pretty. I found the area where you can get the horse ride. I didn't see a sign with a price, so I'm guessing you probably would have to ask one of the drivers how much it costs. Hey, you got a cool nativity scene here. This is kind of towards the front of town. Take a look at all of this. Very nice. One of the things I remember most about coming to Frankenmuth, or that stands out in my mind when I was a kid, is the little town of Bethlehem. It kind of looks like little wooden cutouts of the city, and it's pretty hard to see because it's actually quite a ways away. I actually zoomed in all the way, and you can still barely see it. So while that little town of Bethlehem may be a little bit hard to see, there's no way you could miss this giant snowman. I didn't even notice those fancy little presents on the River Place entrance, because that's where we walked out of to get into Frankenmuth. So I wouldn't have seen it passing through. But I like it. Kind of goes along with all the other presents they had in there. This is what I'd like to see of more here. It's the multicolored light stuff. You know, like most of these little towns I've been going through, Frankenmuth has mostly like either warm white lights or the bright white lights. And they kind of skimp out on the multicolor stuff. Well, I'm all the way back to the River Place now, and I'm actually right at the main entrance where you would pull off of the main road to park and go into the River Place shops. As you can see, they've got some more of their presents out here. These ones look like they're exploding. At least that's what it looks like to me. Imagine how disappointed the kids would be opening up exploding presents. Oh, they got them at this entrance too. It's another side entrance to the River Place. Oh, there's the tree. The snowflake tree. I always like looking at the window displays at different places during the seasons. See how they decorate them up. This is like the whiskey store. I think that's the whiskey store. Well, Grand Traverse Distillery. Close enough. It's got whiskey in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy with this like I would the snow people or the pumpkin people at Gatlinburg. But here's some more presents. These things are kind of littered throughout the River Place. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut this short. It is just too cold out here. It looks like this place is all closed down anyway. But Frankenmuth still has a couple more hours to go before they start shutting stuff down. Originally, when I was planning on coming out here, it was supposed to be like 40 degrees, which is pretty warm for Michigan. But they kind of blew that weather prediction. All right, maybe one more present display. Oh, that's a little bit blurry in my camera. I wonder why this entrance to the River Place doesn't have those present lights like the other entrances do. And anyway, I think that's going to do it for us tonight here in Frankenmuth. It was a fun, very cold, but fun night. If you ever have the opportunity to come out to Frankenmuth, I hope you take it. It is a fun town. It's got cool theming, and it's got some really neat shops. I didn't get to go into a lot of them because it was so cold, but maybe I'll come back and when it warms up and check those out. It's not the size of a Gatlinburg, and it doesn't have the sort of attractions that Gatlinburg has, but it is still a really cool, fun place to visit. This might be one of the coolest light decorations I've seen, just for the simple fact it looks like it's actually moving. I don't know why Santa's driving a car, but whatever. Dude, this Santa looks like he's got himself one BA belt buckle, huh?